Hello, fellow leader. You are moving your business forward, and that is exactly why you are watching this video. And if there's one thing I was sitting and thinking about, I was like, how do I provide my team with something to kind of take their business to the next level like our team is right now? Because all I want for you is you to continue to see your potential and literally just dream bigger and do more, because there's so much out there for you and you are so incredibly capable. But I want to give you the tools and the resources, and also I want to give you some of white on the shirt there. I want to give you some of my biggest lessons, because I don't really want your journey to be like mine if it doesn't have to be, where I was kind of going in and out of growing into a diamond coach and growing beyond that. And I've learned a lot, and I really want to help you continue to just take your business forward. That does not mean that it'll come with, no bumps and bruises, no hard lessons, no people quitting, feeling that sense of failure, because success is on the other side of failure. And that's something that you really have to understand if you want to move forward and see more success, because otherwise you're going to be so afraid of failing that you never take the steps. And that's not really, going to work in a business like this, because we truly do learn by doing. So I know for a fact that you're going to have your own lessons and your own kind of aha moments and light bulb moments to share with your team. So a couple of mine that I have learned is, when it comes to leading other coaches and bringing people onto your team and having your own team, you really have to base, your time and energy off of who is showing up. So it's not about what they say, it's about what your coaches are doing. So they might be telling you that they are doing their power hours, that they are posting every day on social media, that they have these huge Success Club goals or huge rank goals, or maybe they don't, but their actions still aren't lining up with what they say they're doing. That means that, you can't really necessarily be thinking about them as a top leader in your team, because if they're not doing the things, then they're truly not showing up to their business. It would show in their business if they're doing the things. If they say they're doing the things, it's going to be obvious. They're not hitting Success Club. They're not rank advancing. They're not seeing results in their own personal journey. So you really want to base your time and energy for each coach and the people that you pour into based on their actions, not their words. So I'll give you an example from my organization. I was not proactive in building my diamond rank stronger, because I had an emerald coach who was staying emerald, but she wasn't really working the business. And what I mean by that was, she wasn't showing up. She wasn't hitting goals. She wasn't setting Success Club goals every month. She wasn't posting on social media. And I should have been proactive in knowing that this coach isn't showing up. Therefore, this is not holding a stable diamond rank for me. And therefore, I need to be recruiting my booty off to help make sure that I continue to stabilize this and grow beyond this. Because you don't want to get in that stagnant mindset where you're like, okay, I'm good. That's not really how this business works. That doesn't mean that you can never be comfortable and you can never be grateful and satisfied with where you are. It doesn't mean that you always have to be shooting for more and you always have to want more to be happy. It just means that you have to be proactive as a business owner. You have to look at your business and say, is this person producing or are they not? And that doesn't mean you love them any less. That never has meant that I've loved any of my coaches any less. It just means that, I'm putting them in a different category. I'm putting them in the category where I need to help them with their personal growth. I need to make sure I'm talking to them about their personal fitness and nutrition goals, because if they're not on their journey, then how can they truly lead others? How are they going to be confident in posting on social media or bringing people into this and hitting Success Club? So when someone is saying they're doing the things, but I don't see them doing the things, their actions aren't lining up, I go back to the basics with them. I make sure that they are on their journey, that they are treating themselves well, and then from there we go on about goals. But that's also a place where you have to have a hard conversation with someone. I ask permission. Can I call you on it? If you are telling me that you want this, but you're doing this, am I allowed, as your coach, do you want me to correct you? If they want me to, then I will. I'm going to say, listen, you have a goal to, for example, pay off $10,000 in student loan debt this year, and you haven't hit Success Club in 3 months. That goal is not lining up with your actions, and there's something that has to get redirected there. Otherwise, that is 100% not going to happen. So let's figure out, what is it that's holding you back from doing that? Where's your mindset? Why aren't you taking the actions? Those are the things that leaders do. They just ask questions. Good leaders ask really good questions to help the person kind of get to the bottom of maybe what's holding them back, but also to help them create more belief in themselves, like a lot of times it's there. We just have to peel back the onion and really help that person figure it out. So that's one of my main tips in this business is you never want to assume that someone's doing the work, or assume that they're pushing for the goal, or assume that they're on the same page with you if they have clearly shown you in their actions that they're not. You go by their actions, not by what they're saying. Also, number 2, I think I've got 5 steps here. We'll keep it at 5. That's really simple. Number 2 is results equals retention. So what that means is you want to make sure you're helping your challengers see results. You want to make sure you're helping your coaches see results, because when people see results, they keep ordering. They probably potentially coach. That means retention. That means volume growth. That means income growth. That means all really, 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 really good things. And you don't want your income to just be based off of, the commissions from Success Club every single month. That's awesome to me. That's like an added bonus. But I want my income to be built off of a really awesome, stable, and incredible customer base. Awesome tribe of not just my coaches, but discount coaches, people that I work with every single month in my groups that I've seen, lose 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45, 100 pounds. We want to make sure we're helping people see results, because that's what a coach does, period. End of story. The work does not, honestly, the work starts after they show up or after they sign up. You can't just be focused on getting people to sign up. And I'm going to go back and tell you a quick story about how I learned this lesson. I went to Summit, I had been in the business about a year, and I went to Summit for the first time. And something that really impacted me was I didn't have multiple transformation stories of people that I was coaching. I didn't have a before and after from a challenger that I could just pull up and show somebody. And I forget if we were talking about it or it was a topic at Summit, but it really hit me hard that I didn't have a before and after of anyone's. And from then on out, I was like, you know what? It is my mission to make sure I am helping people see a transformation. And that doesn't always mean a before and after photo. It really doesn't. But the focus has to be there, because that's what we're doing as coaches. And honestly, guys, I went from barely being able to have 4 people on each side of my organization to having, I have, I think right now, 8 to 10 on my left side, because that is my strong leg. So I don't stack that leg, but I have 8 there to keep it really, really, really strong. So I'm never worrying about, dropping rank due to me, because if you're in control of your discount coaches, you always want to be in control of that. But, I keep it at 6 to 8, because I would never let my rank ride on exactly the amount of people I need, 4 people, because what if somebody just randomly cancels and then you're, panicking? Give yourself a little bit of cushion. That's kind of a different topic. But I went from, 8 discount, or barely having 4 and 4 to 8 on one side and 25, 30, I think, maybe not 30, maybe in the 20s, I'm not honestly sure, on the right side. So that has come from really paying attention to my people, really making sure I'm helping them see results, using the resources and that Beachbody provides, that Beachbody On Demand provides, the Beachbody blog. You don't have to be Autumn Calabrese and be a nutrition guru to help people see results, because the work is already done for you. All you have to do is be committed to getting them in that group, making sure they're showing up, checking in with them, once or twice a week, depending on the person, and just, again, asking them questions. It's not really going to serve them if you go to them and you're like, you're doing awesome, when they haven't showed up in the group and you have no idea if they're doing awesome because you haven't asked. So you want to be like, how are you feeling about the meal plan? How is Shakeology tasting? That is so important. They have to love Shakeology, guys, or the Performance Line, but really Shakeology is the best one for them to love. And then they can add in the Performance Line, but you want to make sure they love Shakeology. Otherwise, they're not going to want to reorder it, right? No matter how good it is for them, people want to love what they're drinking. So It's your job as their coach to immediately make sure that they love Shakeology and they want to continue Shakeology, because when they love it and they want to continue it and they see the value in it because you've been sharing that, then that's a lifelong customer. Sure, people will sometimes pause for a month or, you know, change a flavor or maybe have to like skip a couple orders, but it's very rare nowadays that they skip and they've been skipping for like 10 months, okay? They come back because they see the value and they love it. So it's really important to make sure you're helping people see results, make sure they love Shakeology, make sure they understand all of the products that are available. So if, you know, maybe you have a challenger who signed up as a customer and they hate Shakeology, like they cannot come around. They are just totally not a fan. And you're like, okay, well, how are you feeling after your workouts? Are you really sore? Are you having trouble like getting up and getting motivated and getting energetic before your workouts? Especially morning workout people, guys. Especially people who just love caffeine and they're like, I need that boost, and they don't necessarily, you know, always want to turn to coffee, because actually Energize is way better than coffee. So really learn all of our products. Learn about the Beach Bars, learn about the Performance Line, learn about Daily Sunshine. There is literally so much that can keep someone's account active with 50 PV. And I can't tell you how many times I've needed to get someone active or like help someone make an order or help someone continue to be my customer, and I serve them in a new way because I'm being creative and I'm thinking about what do they really need. Like this girl yesterday, I was talking to her about her orders. I was like, so how's Shakeology? She's like, I'm good. I have like 2 orders backed up, but she's mentioned that she's been having really bad digestive problems. I was like, why don't you try the digestive boost? It's supposed to really help. And she literally looked it up and ordered it immediately. So because I was like on a mission to make sure I'm keeping my business stable, I'm thinking like a business owner, but I'm also serving like a business owner, like a servant. I have all of these products and I don't want to let them go to waste because I'm not thinking about how I can serve someone, okay? So the third thing is kind of on the same realm. It's always have a constant funnel. And what that means is, you know, yes, we're going to want to help people see retention. Results equals retention, but at the same time, we always have to be bringing in new people. We have to be hitting Success Club. We have to be setting the bar higher. At this point, you should be pushing way beyond Success Club 10. And I literally never thought I would ever be able to hit Success Club 20. I thought that was like the craziest thought in the world, that I could ever reach Success Club 20 and help 10 people in a month. That was like mind-blowing to me. And I almost surpassed Success Club 20 every single month. And that's really just because I changed the way I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, if I just start telling myself that I can do that, then I'm gonna start aligning my actions with that, and it's gonna happen, and it did. So you constantly wanna be bringing new people in and funneling new people into your organization. You never wanna think like, I'm good, I can rely on those people, we're fine. No, you always wanna be changing lives. Same thing with coaching. You know, by helping your challengers see results, by continuing to show up on social media, it's creating this constant funnel effect. And I'll go ahead on to number 4, that you always want to be inviting to coaching. You know, I think like a challenge group is, you guys know that by now. Challenge group every month, set the date, invite to it, fill it, rinse and repeat, and really get creative and really make sure your people are staying involved. But when it comes to coaching, like it's like weird to be like, do you want to join my team? And they're like, what? You know, like what does that mean? It's a little bit tougher to kind of cover all of that in one conversation sometimes, or even getting them on the phone is a huge game changer for me. The minute I notice someone's interested and they just have a lot of questions, which is totally normal, and I love that because I want them to have questions, it means they're interested. The minute that they have that interest, I'm like, let's just hop on the phone. I mean, I could totally, write a paragraph to you right now, or I think it would be so much easier if we just jumped on the phone and we could just go back and forth with questions. And from there, I hop on the phone with them. I don't get like super nervous and freaked out. I just talk to them about what I already know, which you guys know enough about this business. You know the basics, but listen to them. Listen to what they want. Listen to what they would be coming into this for. And then really like help them see how it's going to serve their life. Same thing with the challenge group. So you want to be inviting to a coach sneak peek, a coach webinar, something to where it's like, it's a little bit easier than like, hey, you want to join my team? It's like, hey, why don't you just check out this sneak peek? I know you're interested. Or say you have a challenger who has been showing up and crushing it, and you just reach out to them one day and you're like, hey, I think you would crush coaching. You have been doing such an amazing job in this group. You are such a leader, and I really think this business would serve you. I never even pictured this for myself, but I'm so glad that I gave it a shot. Do you just want to learn more about it in this sneak peek? So do you see how you're kind of like using a sneak peek or a webinar, or, you know, do you want to hop on the phone with my coach? Like, do you see how you're using those tools to kind of like, you know, take the pressure off of that person? They're not committing right away. They're just committing about to learn more. And that's an awesome way for you to teach them about who you are, what kind of leader you are, what our team is like. So make sure, and this is number 5, make sure that you are plugging your people into monthly or bi-weekly sneak peeks. Make sure you're doing something that is providing information into what you do as a coach. Now, I'll go on to say that you should be talking about coaching multiple times a week. You never want to kind of like stop talking about it, because it's your life, guys. This is our lifestyle. I feel like, how do I say this? I feel like when coaching just finally became like intertwined into my life, and that's not necessarily like when I became full-time that happened, but it was like I stopped living this life and then the coach life. It was all intertwined, and it became so much easier to talk about this business, how it's changing my life, the opportunities behind it, because I was just talking about my life. It wasn't like I had to be, oh, now I'm talking about coaching, now I'm talking about this. It all comes together. So whether it's on your stories or in social media, you know, you can talk about your accomplishments, you can talk about what it feels like to like face your fears, what it feels like to help people see results. Sharing your challengers' results is such an amazing thing to do, with their permission, of course. You know, you don't always have to share their name, but just finding ways like each day to kind of like hint, what is this coaching thing? How is it changing their lives? You can even do sneak peeks on your story. It really doesn't matter. There are no rules. This is your business. This is your baby. This is your thing. This is your dream. You can do these things the way you want. Your team is here for you. We have the resources, but like, if you don't like the way that it works for you, you can do it a different way. You can try and fail. Like, always be not reinventing the wheel, but always be thinking like, okay, if this didn't work, I'll try this. It does not mean that you failed. It just means that you have to go to that next step. So I guess my last point, this kind of takes it to like 6, but this is like me summing everything up. You just never want to be reactive. You don't want to be reactive. You want to be proactive. If you can just like, literally all of that wraps into this. And kind of how that like works is like, I'm being proactive to hitting Success Club by, you know, going out and commenting and liking on 20 to 30 people's things today on Instagram, because those 20 to 30 people could turn into my customers next month. They could turn into my potential coaches next month. So when it comes to holding a really stable business and building a really awesome business and just thriving business, you always, always, always want to be proactive. Is that coach showing up? Are they not showing up? Is that the only emerald I have on that side? If they're not really working their business and posting, showing up on social media, helping anyone, I need to make sure that I stabilize my rank with a new emerald. So you're gonna then, you know, you don't want to just like have to hurry up and go find someone. You want to already have people in mind, people in a sneak peek, coaches that you're bringing on, so you're never in that like panic stress mode. That comes from not being proactive. That comes from kind of what I talked about earlier in this video. And that's what I want to teach you guys, is always be thinking a couple steps ahead. Always be thinking like, okay, well, where am I if, you know, that coach quits right away, right? So you just want to always be thinking a couple steps ahead, but also be present with your people. Really focus on your people. At the end of the day, that's what this business is about. It's not about our products. It's really not. It's not about, you know, your social media. It's about how do you connect with people? How do you help them believe in themselves? And what are you doing to help serve their life? This is a service-based business. I don't care what anyone tells you about network marketing and pyramids and anything like that. It all comes down to just meeting someone's needs, being there for them, helping them believe in themselves, and just serving them. So I'm so excited to hear if this was helpful for you. If it was, please comment or tell me immediately how this like really sunk in, and let's keep doing this. Bye.